Well, it is the end of May 2024, and I'm at this little place called Ranger Creek near Mount Rainier National Park. I'm on my way to Oregon to start my series on the Columbia River, and once you get east of Portland, it becomes a very desolate, high desert. So I wanted to enjoy the trees and the mountains one last time before I start that series. So I came here to Ranger Creek. I mean, I find this place very fascinating. As you can see right here, there's actually an airstrip, and it's in the middle of the national forest. And people do fly in and camp here. There's specifically camp pads for those who fly in, but there's also a campground that surrounds the entire airstrip. And I was here almost a year ago, and when I was here, I think two or three people flew in and camped here. Now, I don't anticipate that this time around because it's been raining all day, and yeah, I just don't see it happening. So I'm gonna spend some time here, enjoy the trees, enjoy the mountains, do some hiking. There's a bunch of service roads and trails in this area. So this is the tent pad area for those who fly in, and like I said, I find this very fascinating. That's why I've been here 6 times now, and every time that I come here and camped, I've always camped on the far side. Over there would be the east side, but today I'm going to camp on the west side. There's a lot more camping spots over here. All right, so I'm walking through the campground, and although there are designated sites, it's a fairly primitive campground. There's only 2 vaulted toilets, and they're near the ends of the runway, and the runway is over 2,500 feet long. All the sites are on a first come first served basis all year round, and because it's so primitive and it's first come first served basis, each site's only $5 a night or to have a recreation pass. All right, well, after looking around the campground for a little bit, I think this is going to be a spot, nice view of the runway. So I got to move my vehicle. Then I'm going to have dinner, a little ravioli, and then maybe a little bit later, I'll walk around on some more of the service roads. Probably do some of the trails in the morning. This is at the south end of the runway, and I'm about to walk on some of the service roads. Well, this is a little ways back from the airstrip on one of the service roads. There are other campsites here, or at least spots to disperse camp. This one's pretty large. You could probably fit a lot of people here. As I was walking on the service roads, I came across this well-worn path, or maybe it's even a trail, It's unclear to me what trail that would be. I'm walking in a direction back towards the airfield, so I'm just going to keep walking on this to see if I can figure out what it actually leads to.
So I hiked on this trail for a little bit, and then I just cut back onto the service road. I never figured out what trail this was. I suspect maybe it's a trail that the Forest Service no longer maintains. Alright, we're skipping ahead to day 2, and this ended up being a multi-day stop. Honestly, you could spend a week out here, especially if you use this kind of as a base camp and did some of the hiking on other trails in this area. But I'm on the east side of the airstrip headed towards the Suntop Trail.
All right, I'm on the Suntop Trail. It's 8.3 miles round trip, but I'm just gonna go about 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back. It's probably about a 5-minute walk over from where I'm camped at, so it's gonna be a good hike. All right, so I vaguely remember from the previous times that I've been here that the Suntop Trail does have a few splits in it, like this one right here, but the main trail goes off in this direction. I think some of these splits, the side trails aren't maintained anymore. I mean, this whole area is not very well maintained, but I'm going to stick to the main portion of the trail. Here's another split in the trail. Keep going up this way, it's the Suntop Trail. And then down over here is another unmaintained trail. I'm actually going to go down there for a little bit, see if I can get closer to the stream. And then I'll head back up on the Suntop Trail. So the old trail does come down to this stream and does actually continue on the other side. I'm not going to cross here, but it is a real nice area down here. I'm glad I made the decision to go on this old trail.
This ended up being the turnaround spot. I didn't feel like fording the river, and since it had been sprinkling all day, I didn't feel like trying to cross these logs.
All right, I'm back at Ranger Creek, and I'm on the east side of the runway. Here in a little bit, we'll cross over, and then hang out at the van for a little bit, and then I'll probably drive around on some of the service roads. I might even go back out onto State Route 410, and if I do that, I'll probably come back to Ranger Creek later tonight. All right, so I've started exploring the service roads around Ranger Creek. This one is Service Road 7160. I was actually driving up here a little bit earlier, and I came across this puddle, and it's actually way deeper than it seems. I actually checked it with a stick, and it's way deeper than I was comfortable driving my van through. So I actually reversed to a side service road, which I'm kind of obstructing right now, although that service road is very primitive, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'm making this quick, just thought I'd show you this. But I'm still looking for a better spot to park. I'd maybe like to hike some of the service roads in this area. All right, so this is a side service road that I parked. You can kind of see that I'm somewhat obstructing the service road, but I doubt anyone is up this service road right now. But I'm going to walk up this service road, see if I can find a better parking spot. If not, we'll just go back down Service Road 7160. All right, so I've been hiking on the side service road for a little bit. I haven't found a decent spot to pull my van over, so it's really overgrown, so I'm not going to hike on it, even though I doubt anyone's up on this service road. All right, I've left the Ranger Creek area, drove down State Route 410 to Service Road 7141. And I was actually not too sure I was going to be able to drive up this road because there was a sign that said not recommended for trailers and inexperienced mountain drivers, which to me that meant high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicles. But it wasn't really that bad. Thing is, right at the beginning of the service road, there's a bunch of cabins. So I pulled over. There's a trailhead here for the White River Trail. So I'm going to do that here in a little bit, but I just figured I'd walk down the service road. Looks like they've had a forest fire recently. See if I could get to the burn areas really quick, but I'm going to head back to my van and have lunch, and then I'll hike a little bit on the White River Trail. All right, so here we go on the White River Trail. I'm going to go about 2 miles to the Ranger Creek Trail junction. All right, so I'm at the Deep Creek. I'm going to cross this bridge right here, follow this trail down, and the junction to the Deep Creek Trail is just above these two logs. You might be able to see it right there. It seems like an interesting trail, but it does take you through the burned out area. But then you can see right here, that's the White River Trail, and it keeps going in this direction. I'm going to continue following that until I get to Ranger Creek. Well, this is a mess, and I've never seen anything quite like this. It must have been the forest fire and then a landslide. All right, I made it to the Ranger Creek Trail junction, but this is gonna be the turnaround spot. I'm gonna head back to the van, and then we'll head back to the Ranger Creek airstrip. Well, I'm back at Ranger Creek, and once I got back here, it started raining, so now I'm just gonna chill out, I guess. There's not much I really want to do, so hopefully this rain lets up soon. All right, so it's a little bit later, and it did clear up for a little bit. In fact, the sun even came out, and of course, as soon as I get ready to go out and film the White River, it starts raining again. So I guess we're gonna hang out a little bit more. I mean, it is nice. It stays light until probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. So maybe it'll clear up before it's sunset. But I don't have high hopes. So if not, I guess I'm just gonna hang out the rest of the day. Well, it's day 3 out here in the Ranger Creek area. It's gonna be my last day, and then I'll start heading out. This morning I was hiking on some of the service roads on the north end of the airstrip, and I didn't have any of my camera equipment, and there happened to be a herd of elk in the trees, and of course they spotted me and started running off. So one did stand on the service road for a little bit, but then continued running off. So I'm actually walking back down there again to see if I can film any of that. I doubt they're gonna be there anymore, but might walk down the service road a little bit. Otherwise I'm gonna head to the White River Trail, do some more hiking on that. All right, so I wandered around on the service roads for a little bit, couldn't find the elk, so I'm headed back to the van, but I am taking a little bit of a detour. On the north end of the airstrip, there's a spot where you can access the White River, so I'm gonna go down here, film it a little bit, and then head back to the van. come down State Route 410 a ways to the Camp Shepherd trailhead. There's the Snoqualmie Loop, I think is what it's called. It's 2.5 miles, and I'm going to do that. So apparently there's a lot of trails in this area, and the trailhead map didn't show some of them. I ended up on the Moss Lake Trail, which is a loop, and it's 0.6 of a mile. But now looking at the sign, I understand what's going on, and I should be on the right path to the falls. Well, this is the falls, and it's pretty impressive. This cliff is very tall, so because of all the mistakes that I made at the beginning of the hike, I'm just gonna walk up to the trailhead. We're on the shorter path to the falls. The rest of the trail is off this direction, so yep.
Alright, this is going to wrap up Ranger Creek. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I want to thank you for watching.